Welcome to the Dr. Fantastic and Thunder Show. Again, Thunder is incognito, so it's just me, Dr. Fantastic, and I've got a young man who's going home after a belly full of turkey. How much did you eat last night?
Quite a few. Actually, no turkey.
No turkey?
Nobody in our family particularly cares for turkey.
Oh, is that right?
It's funny because I think a lot of us we think of turkey as something for like people who are trying to eat healthy. And I don't know why you try to eat healthy on a Thanksgiving dinner.
Right.
So we ended up making braising some short ribs, got some crab legs.
Oh, wow.
Roasted sweet potatoes.
That's even better.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Oh yeah.
Nothing like braised short ribs, and crab legs. I mean, I caught a lot of lobster because I used to have a boat here in the marina.
Nice.
And one time we had a sit-down dinner on the yacht for 34, and I caught all the lobster myself. And but I mean, I much prefer crab legs over lobster.
Oh yeah,
much better flavor.
Yeah.
So you're a bartender.
I am.
So as this show is all about introducing people, technologies, information, help the mind, the body, or the planet. I think as a bartender, you're almost like a psychologist at times.
Yeah.
And people will tell you their problems, and you probably have locals that you know very well that have their own seat, and they sit there all the time.
Sure.
So, how long have you been a bartender?
Too long, it seems sometimes. No, I've been in the restaurant business like 2005.
Okay.
I've bartended, it's about solid 8-9 years.
Okay. So, obviously we've got the designated drivers nowadays, but a lot of people still drink and drive, which is unfortunate. But as a bartender, I was a bartender once, just for a short while, but I noticed that you make more money if the bigger the tab is, because you get a tip.
Yes. So
they have a drink and it's not quite finished, and you say, well, you're ready for another. And you're ready for another. And you're ready for another. And finally, you call the police saying, this guy's a drunk and belligerent. Get him out of my bar. I mean, you don't. I mean,
right.
That happens because belligerent drunks.
Right.
Some people are happy drunks. Myself, I'm a happy drunk.
Yeah. It really depends on the kind of bar you work at. I've worked at primarily restaurant bars.
Okay.
At like nice restaurants, and the place I'm working now is a craft cocktail bar.
Okay.
It's one of those hipster-sounding places where like each cocktail has like 6 ingredients and whatnot.
Okay. Well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's almost like being a chef, but with liquids. It's kind of like that. So working at a place like that, I don't really have to deal with a lot of like just belligerent drunk people.
Right.
I mean, you get the few people that after a few drinks they're feeling happy. They might get a little loud, maybe slightly obnoxious, but nothing. It's very rare that I've had to deal with any kind of belligerent people.
Tell me about craft cocktail. What's your what's the signature one?
One of our most popular things is called the Blackjack. It's a rye whiskey base. It's got Angostura bitters, chocolate bitters, a little bit of honey syrup, Amaro, Benedictine, and Nonino, and we finish it off. And obviously rye whiskey, and we finish it off by putting it in a dome and then smoking it with a hand smoker. Like you go to like a certain fancy restaurant, they have like a glass dome, they open it, you see like this billow of smoke. Right. It's kind of like that. When we do that to the cocktail itself.
Oh wow!
It's
And what does that cost? Something like a drink like that?
14.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah.
But a lot of work goes into it.
Yeah.
So speaking of whiskey, I drove a guy the other day, and he on Thanksgiving. The day after, they don't drink on Thanksgiving because they go away for the weekend. He splurges, and he has it's half whiskey, half maple syrup, and I think he said bacon. And he says it's his favorite drink of all. Sounds interesting.
Yeah.
With maple syrup and whiskey. I don't know. But
we actually have a separate, different cocktail that's kind of like take an old fashioned, and we use it's a Lapsang tea infused maple syrup. Just a little bit of that as a sweetener instead of like regular sugar.
Right.
And then stir that with bourbon. It's kind of like a modern take on an old fashioned. It's quite good.
Have you invented something yourself?
Not at this place. But I've come up with some of my past job. I've come up with cocktails for the menu.
There you go. Yeah, I was a waiter well before you were born. It was in Florida.
Not as young as you think I am.
Well, this was, let me think, I was 18, that was 48 years ago.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
I'm not as old as you. I think you think I am, or I'm older than you think I am. Actually, that's the twist on that one.
You got a lot of energy. That's good for you.
You know, life is very short, and before you know it, you'll be my age, which is just around the corner. You can think back to high school, and then you say, "My God, there's a 10-year reunion coming up. Oh my God, there's a 20-year reunion coming up.
Right.
Oh my God, there's a 30-year reunion coming up." Life is so very short, and if you watch my channel, you'll see some great interviews, but you'll also see some great advice. As I'm a modern-day philosopher, I like to think of myself as a life coach and a motivational speaker.
Yeah.
And I've got lots and lots and lots of good advice because I hitchhiked around the world as a young man for my education. And
Nice.
I've worked in over 79 different fields. And I know a little bit about a few different things. And I like to share that with the young people.
Yeah.
And the Be Fantastic movement came out of that, which is really phenomenal because it's such I don't know if you tried it yet, but let's try it with you right now. And with great passion, say, "I am fantastic." Say it.
Say I am Say I am fantastic.
Now with I'm going to give you the professional version. Say, "I am fan-fucking-tastic."
I am fan-fucking-tastic.
Now, how do you feel right now?
Good.
Typically, you feel a lot better. And you got a juice of energy, a burst of energy. What happened was that's the only word in response to the lame-ass question, "How are you?" that makes you smile. The only word. Awesome, great, wonderful, blessed. None of those words make you smile.
Sure.
You have a big smile on your face right now. So that smile, it releases endorphins, dopamine, and serotonin that make you feel great. It also reduces stress in your body, which means you'll be healthier and live longer.
Yeah.
But here's the great part of it. It makes other people smile, which means, you know about karma, right? Making other people feel good.
Of course.
Watch as a bartender when people says, "How are you?" Tell them you're fan-friggin', because a lot of people think it's a cuss word if you say fucking, which it's not. It's an adjective in this instance. But say fan-friggin-tastic, and it creates engagement, which is, as a bartender, very, very good. It makes them feel good because they're going to smile because you can't. It's actually an infectious thing as well. When you see someone smile, you smile back.
Yeah.
It's an infectious thing, and it's just a way of giving to other people, and it's called karma. It comes back at you. It's really amazing. And we have 700 plus people in the movement. By the way, do you have your phone on there?
I do.
Do you have YouTube? Let's get you to join real quick. Go to YouTube and then type in uplifting interviews. And everybody, I want you to do the same. Open up your phones. Go to YouTube, type in 2 words, uplifting interviews, and join. It's free. We actually give you a $40 EMF reducer when you join to thank you for making the world a better place. Because when you're fantastic, you're making the world a better place 2 smiles at a time.
There it is.
No, that's not there yet.
Uplifting.
No, those are some of the interviews outside the channel.
Oh, I see.
The channel is, you're not on YouTube app, are you?
I'm on the app.
Oh, yeah. It should be a round circle with my picture in it. Scroll down or scroll up.
Uplifting YouTube.
Uplifting interviews.
Oh.
Uplifting interviews, 2 words. And I have over 500 interviews. And
coffee.
Anyway, everybody, thanks for listening in to our little morning chat. And
There it is.
Don't drink too much at the bar. Hit subscribe. And you are probably 732. And I want to get 1 million people on board and make the world a better place. Because there's too many selfish people out there. They just don't care about anyone else.
Yeah.
And a fantastic person is a giving person, is a positive person. You saw the logo, pollinating positivity.
Yeah.
Everyone, thanks for listening. Share, like, subscribe. And make sure you tune in to Help Dr. Fantastic and Thunder Save the Planet YouTube show. We need to save the planet, everybody. Or being fantastic won't be worth anything.
Right.